But I want to jump real quick just as we say goodbye, because you can read this later. 10 reasons for physical evil. What about evil? What about hurricanes and earthquakes and things that don't seem to have anything to do with me being an idiot? All right? Well, the first one, some physical evil flows directly from our free choices. You know, I think most of our problems are self-inflicted. 98% of our problems is we're eating the wrong food and we're drinking the wrong things and we're not taking care of ourselves and we're blah, 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 blah. And then we get into trouble and then we wonder, oh, what a mystery to the history. Okay, so most physical evil, I think, is totally self-inflicted. Second, some physical evil comes indirectly from the free choices of others. Well, has anybody else ever gotten hurt by someone's free choice? Get more than one free moral agent in the room and you're going to have trouble and you actually get hurt from other people's free choices. So a lot of physical evil is just the direct result of not just my own dumb choices, but your stupid choices. Because if we live together in a community, I am subject to some degree to reactions from you and consequences from your acts. So some physical evil. Next, some physical evil comes directly from the freedom of others. You know, in a world where we're free to hurt one another, we can bonk each other in the head and run each other over. Next, some physical evil comes indirectly through the freedom of others. If your parents moved to the Soviet Union and you're born in the Soviet Union, guess what? Your freedom matters, your choices have consequences. And your kids can indirectly suffer from your stupid choices to move to wherever. Okay? And next, some physical evil is a necessary byproduct of other good activities. Is there anything wrong with skiing? You're going down the hill as faster than you've ever gone, and the wind is in your face, and it's wonderful, but you can also fall and break your neck. See? Some evil, where there are mountains, to ski down, there are gullies to fall in and break your stinking neck. Where there are lakes to swim in, you can drown along with your family in a bad canoe. When you're up on the mountain, God gives a fertilizer with his rain, but when that lightning strikes and you happen to be the fool that's looking for Noah's Ark at the wrong moment, boom, it's a byproduct. It's like, stuff happens. And you got to make sure that you realize that. Some evil is directly tied to that. I knew a guy, I kid you not, and I'm closing. I knew a guy that was struck by lightning twice while looking for Noah's Ark. I kid you not. His name was John Morris. And he went once, and they went to Mount Ararat, and they excavated, and they had stories from Roman times up to where the ark was supposed to be. He goes up, bang, he's struck by lightning, right? Just, comes down, does the whole thing. And then he goes back, and he comes back the next season, and he tries to go back up again, and he's struck by lightning. Well, the first time would have dissuaded me. Right? Twice the guy is struck by lightning. Now, the lightning I don't believe was waiting for him because he was about to find the Holy Ark, okay? I think that sometimes evil happens as a byproduct of good things. Lightning, if you get around, cows hanging out under trees are going to get struck. Next, some physical evils are the result of evil spirits. The Bible does speak of a supernatural dimension, that there is a possibility that there are other forces at work against us at times, all right? Next, some physical evils are God-given warnings of greater physical evils. Oh my goodness, that little flippity-doo in your heart is letting you know that prime rib 14 times a day is probably not what the body's looking for, all right? Have you ever had one of those, moments, you know what I mean, where, oopsie, and then you get right and you catch up on your prayer life and you get close to God real quick because you think you have a titter, you have a heart attack. You're starting to feel the result. You know what? Sometimes it's just that kind of stuff. That all weaves together. And so some physical warnings are God-given warnings of greater physical evil. Slow down. You need to relax. You're too stressed. You just need to calm down. Next, some physical evils are God-given warnings about greater moral evils. Oops. Sometimes we can, C.S. Lewis put it this way, and we'll leave with this. He said, God, he whispers to us in our pleasures. He speaks to us in our conscience. And he shouts at us in our pain. That pain is God's megaphone to arouse a morally deaf world. You're in Hawaii. Everything's wonderful. The wind's blowing. Isn't life wonderful? Isn't it great? God's whispering to you in your pleasure. Then he speaks in your conscience as you're driving too fast and the cop behind you and the lights going, woo! And you wonder, did I have a glass of wine with dinner? And is everything, and you put the tic-tac in. He's speaking to you in your conscience. Hello? But then you're laying in the hospital and you've got nothing but tubes coming out and you're on your back looking up and your loved ones are looking extremely concerned and wondering if they're in the will. God is shouting. Pain is God's megaphone to arouse a morally deaf world. Those are the words of C.S. Lewis. And I don't know a better place to end. You know, God whispers in our pleasures. He speaks in our conscience. And he shouts in our pain. So there are some good reasons for pain. I let my kids go through the pain of the dental chair for the greater good of a healthy mouth. You don't go through the wilderness, you don't get to the promised land. You got to go through the wilderness to get to the promised land. It's that way with the race, it's that way with the culture, and it's that way with your personal life. I mean, everybody wants the oil, nobody wants the crushing. Everybody wants the wine, no one wants to crush the grape. Everybody wants the bread, they don't want to crush the grain, right? But you know, all of life, anything of value, even those rose petals, when crushed, give off their fragrance. There's a purpose in pain. And now, I don't like it, and it's usually never on my terms, and I will never be able to know why everything happened to you that happened to you. But maybe somewhere in here, you can find some new perspective or insight or hope or help. Okay? God bless you.